I know you always talk about how much you love California, but since I also have kids and live in California, I get nervous about what they might be teaching them, teachers and principals, I'm assuming. How do you brainwash your kids before the opposition does?
Ooh, that's a great question. And listen, whether you live in California, which is a very liberal state, or you live in any other state, liberal or conservative, believe it or not, a lot of the public schools have a lot of built-in brainwashing. Doesn't matter even if it's in a conservative state. Now, in a liberal state like California, New York, and many others, Michigan, Pennsylvania, et cetera, there's going to be a lot more brainwashing by the opposition. It's just done. Here is yet another reason why the show, the Bedros Keuilian Show, is about money, meaning, and self-mastery. Because money, if you have enough money, you can put your kid in a private school, right? Maybe it's faith-based. Maybe it's a private school that teaches things like traditional values and doesn't teach things that are they, them, the multi-pronoun bullshit that's out there, which also I find very interesting because the government, Leighton, the government says that, they exist and them can exist too. So can he and her, right, exist. Okay, cool. But recently they passed paperwork, Congress passed a draft. And they said men 18 to 24. So it's funny that they can identify men
now they know,
all of a sudden. They know who men are when it's for the draft, men 18 to 24. Well, shit, I say all of they, them, and hers that identified as a him.
Y'all going.
Y'all send them off to fucking Beirut, Iraq, Afghanistan. Where are we going now? Fucking Ukraine, maybe Palestine, wherever the fuck you're going to send them. Send all the they, thems, and zers and hers. Right. Anyways, so going back to the question at hand. If you live in a liberal state, money is a weapon. And I often say you make an obscene amount of money so that you can monetize, you can weaponize that money, put your kid in a private school. Now, I hear you already in the comments. I don't make that kind of money like you do. I can't afford a private school. I can't afford communities where people are more, because believe it or not, in a state like California, there are very conservative communities. Mm-hmm. Chino Hills, where we live here, is a very conservative community. Many parts of Orange County, especially the parts of Orange County closer to the coast, very conservative. The parts of San Diego, very conservative. So you can move into a conservative community. You can put your kids in private school that teaches traditional values or faith-based values and don't teach the shit that you don't want your kids to be brainwashed with. Or there's the other thing you can do. Before your kids ever make it to elementary school, and while they're in elementary school, junior high, and high school, be so involved with your kids, like control what they're watching, right, on TV, control the video games they're playing, control the shit that they're accessing on their phones, right? Communicate with them at dinner instead of just an iPad in front of them. Let them know, like, to stand up and shake hands and make eye contact, a young man with another man. Let your young lady know how she's supposed to be treated by a young man. Teach them the values, the integrity, the character that you want your family to have. Like, create a family culture. All those things are missing. And so what parents end up doing is they go, well, I'm home, I'm tired, I was working all day, so sure, watch TV, fuck around on the internet. I'm sure the school system is telling you what to read and what to learn. And so they're learning all types of weird shit that now confuses kids even more and makes them go down this path of just being degenerates in life. But parental involvement is super important. Keeping control over the shit that they are exposed to, information that they're exposed through their phone, through social media, through television, through movies. Who are you hanging out with? Like, what friend groups do you have? There was certain kids I wouldn't allow my son and daughter to go and do sleepovers with. Hey, you guys are schoolmates and they went to private school, that's cool. But you guys can't do sleepovers because the parents were a little bit off the rocker, if you know what I mean. And I didn't want those parents to have influence over my kids, even for that one night of sleepover, right? And so I am very vigilant in the way I raised, like, the kids so that once they went to public high school, and we planned on the kids going to public high school, because by then their brains are fortified. Like, Chloe will come home, literally, she's 16 years old now. She comes home and she's like, man, Dad, I don't understand what the problem is with all these kids out there. Like, one, they don't even know what gender they are. Two, a lot of my friends, there was a word, it's like trauma vomiting or trauma. They basically try and out do each other with how much trauma they've experienced and who's on the most number of pills for the disorders that they have. She goes, and all they need to do is like work out and have some mental toughness and like get some sunlight and eat right. I'm like, Chloe, that is like, you're on point, baby. Yeah. But the reality is those kids were raised by the screens, by iPhones and by TV, and parents were uninvolved, and they outsourced all of the education and the indoctrination to the school system. And the school system is controlled by the opposition, big government that wants to infiltrate their minds, poison them, and then make them into good little worker ants who are always going to be in debt and unsure of their gender. Guys, quick interruption to the show. Let me tell you all about the Keuilian Wellness Shot. If you're like me and you care about your health, hydration, and building a strong immune system so you can stay active and you can get after it in life, then you want to try the Keuilian Wellness Shot. I used to take 11 different supplements in the morning, things like vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin B12, echinacea, ginger, and a whole bunch more. Now it's all included in the Keuilian Wellness Shot. I want to send you a 30-day supply for 50% off. Just go to Keuilian.com, use the code word Bedros, my name, to get 50% off. You'll also get free shipping. You get a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee, and $1 of every order goes to Shriners Children's Hospital. And when you use the code word Bedros and do the subscribe and save, which is a Keuilian Tribe program, every month you'll get a fresh supply of Keuilian Wellness Shots for an additional 20% off and free shipping, and $1 of every monthly order will go to Shriners Children's Hospital. So go to Keuilian.com, use code word Bedros, and take advantage of this amazing offer. Now back to the show.
When you put it that way, it just makes it seem like it's so easy to, because it sounds so controllable. Like it's like be more totally involved, and it makes it sound simple. How involved were you? I mean, obviously you were very involved. That's an easy question, but how much? I realize that the word brainwash might trigger people and be like, well, what do you mean brainwash? Does that mean you force them to think a certain way or whatever? So that's kind of what I
brainwashed my kid. We brainwashed our kids and we indoctrinated our kids into our belief system. Hey man, once you're 18 and you're out and you decide you want to believe in goats and 12 different genders, have at it. That's why we live in a free country. Have at it. But I'm going to brainwash you because I think I live a pretty awesome life. I think I'm pretty healthy. I think we donate and we give back to causes and charities we believe in. Like, people generally think we're decent humans. And so I'm going to brainwash you, indoctrinate you into the way I believe you should operate, young girl, young boy. And then as you guys get older and launch into life, you can do whatever the fuck you want.